Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Last episode, we took care of some campaign things. We do have forces that we need to merge together and take care of, such as war priests. So we can at least summon those and get them in. War priests and clerics. That's going to take a bit. Anyway, we do have more days to go by. We need to get our generals out there and our armies set up. And we have some more Yama Azadas. And we can do a diplomatic connection upgrade. Okay, so you Yama Azadas are going to join up with these Yama Azadas, because they do have a lot of use. And can we put someone in charge here? One more day. We need one more day, and then we can assign the general. And let the day pass again. Strengthening diplomatic connections, and a report. The advisors who had arrived from the Young Kingdom and the Stolen Lands lived up to their reputation. They stopped the bloodshed in Nerosian and gathered all parties at the negotiating table. A messenger has arrived in Dresden, bringing a personal gift for the commander from the leader of the young nation. Okay, that is good. But I think we have another diplomatic thing. Hello, Konomi. Apologies, Commander, but an ambassador of a certain nation demands to see you. A nation that we considered to be our ally, at least until they came up with the outrageous proposition we're about to discuss. The tall woman salutes you sharply. Isgur greets you, Commander. My name is Narakor. My lord, Hedevend the Sixth, Steward of Isgur, bid me put myself at your disposal. Isgur regards Mendev as a trusted and loyal ally, and our nation will not leave you in your hour of need. The war has brought chaos and anarchy to the lands of Mendev, and we stand ready to come to your aid. The Isgari Expeditionary Corps is ready to assume control of Nerosian and the larger Mendevian cities to restore order and a central authority. But to avoid a diplomatic misunderstanding, we ask that you accept our help and allow us to cross Mendev's borders. Lady Konomi cuts off the ambassador. Mendev is quite capable of dealing with its issues without external help. Commander, I must ask you to send your own forces to the capital. Don't put the nation into the hands of foreigners. Saving Mendev benefits all nations of Avestan, so why does it have to be the only one country that helps us? We'll ask all our neighbors to send their trusted servants who will resolve the crisis, and keep an eye on each other, preventing any temptation to exploit our lands and resources. Sociel gives the ambassador a soft but knowing smile. I am not particularly enamored of the idea of calling in outsiders to instill order in our country. Before I know it, I'll no longer be a count and some disagreeable foreigner will be living in my estate. I imagine other nobles will relate to these concerns, so why don't we ask them for help? Whatever coat of arms is on the banners of the people who bring order, it's all the same to me. If they can take care of the people, let them come and help. Patriots should have thought about that back when their country wasn't plummeting into oblivion. These sneaky weasels thought they could get their mitts on our turf while we were out here fighting in this dump. Like hell they will. Once we're done with the war, we'll skim Mendev ourselves, thank you very much. And if these unwelcome helpers show their faces, you just say the word, Chief, and the people will give them the pitchfork. The common folk love Isgur about as much as I love donating to charity. I'd like to hear from the ambassador. Ask. I can explain our strategy, provide our view of the current situation, and vouch for the honesty of our intentions. What made you think Mendev needed your help? My nation has suffered through grueling goblin wars, and I saw what they did to Isgur. Right now, Mendev is worse off than my homeland was back then. The recent upheaval in the capital was just the first sign of the insurrection. Soon it will spark in the provinces. The city garrisons can't maintain order. The best people went to the front lines, and only the incompetent stayed behind. The populace is evading taxes and drafts, and future harvests are at risk. There will be famine, then anarchy, and then Mendev will be no more. But we, Isgur, remember the meaning of honor. Our nations have agreed to support each other, and you didn't let Andor and rabble-rousers bring this friendship to ruin. We're willing to help. What do you gain from all this? I'm an officer, so I won't mince words with you. You're Avestan's shield, and if you fall, the burden of this war will be ours to bear. Furthermore, we as Gary believe in the necessity of order and discipline. Mendev's collapse will lead to chaos. It will create new river kingdoms that will spread the plague that is anarchy. And therefore Mendev must endure, for the good of all of us who are united in our adherence to order. On what conditions do you intend to assist us? A limited military contingent will take control of all major cities in Mendev. Sabotage and corruption will be eliminated, and authority over the respective territories will be given to a network of military security forces, subordinate to the headquarters of the Isgari army in Nerosian. Naturally, the headquarters will cooperate with the Royal Council and act solely based on its approval. Once Nerosian is capable of keeping Mendev under control, we'll head back home. No demands or indemnities will follow. Once Nerosian is capable of keeping Mendev under control. And who determines that exactly? Listen. I'm American. I was raised after 9/11. I remember the War on Terror and how long it was before we actually handed things over, and when we did, it was a shit show. I'm sorry to bring it to politics, but I remember what happened. Why do you need my permission? We must follow the law. No matter how noble our intentions are, we have no right to interfere in the matters of another country. We need to be invited, or it would be considered an intervention. No one except you has the authority to do it. The political status of the Royal Council is too questionable at the moment. I hope you understand that all these courteous speeches are just a velvet glove wrapped around an iron fist. Alright. Let's see the council. Social, elaborate on your idea. Social gives the ambassador a piercing look. We invite one country to help, and it will try to subjugate Mendev. We invite all of them, and everyone will be watching the others jealously, stopping them from taking what they shouldn't. Avestan wants stability, and if Mendev falls under the influence of any external power, that stability will be disrupted. No ruler will refuse to send their best representatives, otherwise they'll lose control of the situation. Together, those people will bring Mendev back into shape, and after that, who knows? They might even give some advice to our generals. But most importantly, they won't allow each other to profit off our misfortune. Or, and this is much more plausible, they will ransack Mendev piece by piece 10 times faster. It's fascinating how quickly sovereigns can forget their differences when presented with the opportunity to rob someone else. Dayrin, will the nobles be able to solve the nation's predicament without outside help? For all the things people say about my social class, we have one particular quality. Any aristocracy has strong ties to its country. Family estates are our roots, and they run deep in the ground. Bloodlines are the shoots that grow from local history. So, yes, the nobility can solve this predicament, for they possess not just experience as rulers, but the will to rule. If you wish to bolster their fervor and win some loyalty, give them new lands here, on the territories we claimed from demons. Then their ties to you will be almost as strong as they are to Mendev. So the main incentive for the nobility to save Mendev will still be pride and the thought of keeping their lands? I'm not sure if that is a solid enough footing. Lan, are you suggesting we allow Isgar inside Mendev's borders? I believe them. Mendev is not much of a prize when there's a demon army hanging out at its doorstep. If they wanted to expand their territory, they could have found an easier and wealthier target. So, I don't think they're lying. It would just be too costly for them if Mendev were to fall. So, here they are, doing their duty as allies. And, hey, we might meet a couple of brave warriors in the ranks of the Isgari who will agree to join our war afterward. Nice going, Scales. Keep licking those boots. When the devils take over, they might even make you a taskmaster instead of a common peon. Chief, come on now. Send those Isgari packing already. We let them into Mendev, and they'll be barking orders the next day. Isgar was formed by an expeditionary force, and it has always served one purpose and one purpose only, the expansion of Cheliax's territory. Do not delude yourself. For Isgari, Mendev will be just another seized region. Woljif, why do you oppose Isgar? Because I know they're masters. Cheliax wants to get its grubby hands on Mendev and us, and Isgar are their flunkies doing all the dirty work. Chelaxians are greedy. If something finds its way into their pockets, there's no getting it back. If we're not into the idea of marching to the Devil's Tune in the near future, we better rile up the people. Mendavians just love kicking tieflings around, don't they? Well, how about they work over some devils as well? I'm not surprised that a sneak and a thief is against having the country brought back to order. It's easier to nab something in all the hubbub, eh, Woljif? Lady Kenomi, what are you expecting from me? I'm not denying the fact that Mendev is in the middle of a severe crisis. However, we must solve this problem on our own without involving foreign powers. Nerosian did all it could to help Dresden, and now it's time to reciprocate. I ask that you give the order to all newly formed detachments standing ready to set out for Dresden, to march to Mendev's major cities instead. They will put things back in order by themselves, and remind the people that the Crown's authority remains strong. I understand that you will have to hold out here without reinforcements until the disaster passes, but such is the cost of our nation's salvation and independence. Well, that's a fantastic idea. I'm sure our soldiers will have plenty of time to put things in order before the demons arrive. I mean, it would be so embarrassing if they came to Nerosian and said, ugh, all these riots, what a mess. So let's see. Social, all generals gain a +10 to power. Not bad. For Dayron, recruitment growth for trainable units increases by 15%. Not bad. For Lan, Sisters of the Golden Aranese Mercenary Unit. Monks with high defensive potential. Tanks, no thank you. For Woljif, we get Mendavian Cavaliers. Oh, hang on. Excellent cavalry to deliver pinpoint strikes against enemy lines. A lot of damage. Challenge, I don't care about that. They get a bonus to attack when charging. Okay, powerful cavalry unit. And for you, recruiting trainable units is prohibited for 2 weeks. Recruitment growth for the trainable units reduces to 0. After 2 weeks pass, all trainable units gain the best Sons of Mendev feat. +20 to combat morale. Useful, but we need the forces. We can't really afford to not have anything for a while. Our forces were kind of depleted. So I'm not going to take an Isgar. That just sounds like a disaster. That seems almost hostile. I'm not going to send all our forces. So improving recruitment growth for trainable units is good. And excellent advisors isn't bad. Getting everyone together to try and stop them is... I mean, it's a way, but Dayron is right. It could also tear things up further. You know what? This is a rare thing. I'm going to go with Dayron. Put out a call among the nobles of Mendev and promise him a generous reward. If there's one thing Mendavian nobility has in abundance, it's pride. They will be outraged by the mere thought that some foreigners might take control of their lands. And if there are new estates on the conquered territories involved, why, they will be twice as vigorous in their efforts to save their homeland. Lady Kenomi bows her head and says quietly, "We will know soon whether or not this decision was prudent. Will Mendev survive this crisis, or is it doomed to fall? Once the outcome becomes apparent, I will report to you immediately." That said, I believe I got that wonderful potion. I did indeed. Give me a +2 to all ability scores. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm so strong. This is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, dex bonus is only +3, but I will keep my eye out for good armor that makes full use of the +7. I'm sure I'll find something. Back to the Crusade affairs. Okay, let's see. Campaign. We are going to have another diplomacy upgrade soon. Can you... Yes! Setsuna, get in there. And you will be Setsuna's Wrath. 100%. Now, we need to merge together these forces, so... Yamazadas. We have room for one more, if I can figure out who to take. Let's see. And on this end... Agaboya's scouts. Oh, scouts. Plural. Thank you. Okay. Agaboya's scouts. Let's see here. You have the cavalry. You have the spearmen. You have some archers. Oh. You can only have 4. Dang. Okay, you can take the archers. And you can take war priests. It's not perfect, but it'll do for now. I'm surprised we don't have a larger army size. I thought I did something that would improve that. Must have been one of the other upgrades we had. I don't know. And we do have some paladins. I guess for now I can send the paladins into this force. That'll do for now. Would like more, but we'll have to wait a while. Alright, Setsuna. You're only level 8. You can't do much. But we might be able to take these demon armies out and claim another fort. That wouldn't be a bad thing, and we'd clear our way out to here. There are also forces here. Oh, we have other things we can do. Mass teleportation moves the target army to a point on the global map. Song of Deceiving Thicket. Attacks of all enemy units in all armies receive a 50% miss chance. That's good. All units in the target army gain a +1 bonus to attack for every 1,000 finance points in the Crusade treasury. That's actually pretty nice. Amplify resistance, Mark of Terror, replenish. All units in the target army take physical damage, and call to arms, add units to the target army with a total value of 500 times mythic rank, chosen randomly from the units that are already present in the army. It takes 15 days, but this seems like a good idea. There's a boost to Setsuna's Wrath. That'll help out a lot. Now then, Agaboya, you are going to take your forces. You might be able to take that. It's going to be tricky, but you can try. Setsuna, you're going to head southwards. In fact, I can teleport you to Yath Watch, and you can work on taking out those. We'll be able to force our way in. Well, actually, claiming another fort would probably be a good idea. Then again, these will be easy to take out. Alright. Mass teleportation to Yath Watch. Wait. Okay, there we go. Now let's try and take out some of these demon armies. Let me drop a save first. Alright, on to this army. Okay, so we got alchemists, sorcerers, wizards, and cultist mages. Wow, that is not a lot. Fireball will do a lot to these. Boom. Now for the mages. Magic missile. There we go. Nice and easy. Malicious mages used to live here, all kinds of outcasts, practitioners of forbidden magic, and scoundrels who knew no fear of gods and were eager to sacrifice their souls in exchange for arcane power. Now they are all dead, and with utmost care the soldiers examine their trophies, magic labs, storages of artifacts, and occult libraries. Alright. Setsuna, continue on to this next group. Alright, Gilbereths and Gargoyles. No, not Ice Storm. Fireball. Burn them all. That did a lot. Well, we can finish off the Gilbreths. Nice. Ooh, you get to go again. Alright, Gargoyles. Alright. Do what you can here. There's a little bit of damage. Ooh. You know what? Stay back here. You can do at least some damage to these. It's not much, but it's something. You over to here. Got high morale at the moment. Yeah, these guys are tough. Alright. Firebolt will wipe out those gargoyles. Now we just need to take care of this one. I think they're mainly tanky. Oh yeah, they don't really do much of anything. Charge around and stab them all. Smite evil. Oh, nope, they're not evil. They're not evil. Okay. I'm not even going to use another spell. They're doing barely anything. Almost. Got him. Alright, tanky guys are dealt with. While the captured demons begged for mercy, they gave away extremely valuable information, revealing all the secrets and tricks of the enemy. The officers memorize every word. In the coming battles, they will have a chance to test the new knowledge in practice. Oh, that's the recruitment. Alright. You! Ooh, that's gonna be quite a number of forces. We can give it a try. Let me drop a save. Alright, I think we can take care of this group. Well, you got there fast. Alright. Fireball, Kineticists, Earth Elementals, Water Elementals, and Cultist Fighters. If we do this, nothing to the Earth Elementals. Fireball, however, that'll work. Okay, we can leave those alone. The Fire Elementals are going to be very devastating. Do finish off the Fire Elementals, please. Thank you very much. Okay, whittle down the Air Elementals again. Okay. Smack it. Smack it. And you are just gonna stay there. Alright. Fireball will do a lot to these two. Good, got rid of them. Wipe out the air elementals does seem like a good idea. Go for it. And do a lot of damage to those fighters. Yeah, we need to whittle down those cultist fighters a lot. You know what? I want you to wait. You are also going to wait. Perfect. Wait. You come out. You can't do anything. Cavalry. Do a load to those. You can do a ton to those. And again. They're basically no longer a threat. Now we just need to deal with the elementals. Again. Down go them. And the cultist fighters. Okay, that went well. Very nice job, Setsuna. All the land around is strewn with shards of magic crystals. They were brought here in huge quantities so the demon-worshipping spellcasters could draw power from them and summon elementals to serve them. They had no time to finish the last ritual, so a portion of the magic crystals fell into the Crusaders' hands. Okay. I think we might be able to take out this one. Let me drop a save. Alright, in we go. Alright. Fireball. Do a ton of damage to these guys. Perfect. Take out a load of the Glabrezu. Take out a load of Dyrachni. See if you can take out the Glabrezu. You can finish them off. You are going to wait. That is why. Ooh, nice! You can get to the Dyrachni now. Get out of the way. Finish off the Dyrachni. Perfect! One of the prisoners informs the soldiers that the captured fortress was called the Castle of Desires. A cunning Glabrezu tempter turned all the mortals that lived here into slaves in exchange for granting their deepest wishes. Of course, all his promises turned out to be lies and illusions. And we have one more army we can take out here. It's gonna be a little trickier. They have a lot of cultists, but I think we can do it. Okay, start off with an ice storm. That'll keep those guys from getting close. Now start shooting those cultists down. We need to take care of them before they get any closer. You're gonna wait. You're gonna wait. You're gonna wait. You're gonna wait. You guys do move a bit fast, so you're gonna defend. You charge in an attack. And the paladins are going to charge in and do a load of damage. Now, well, you could do more. You're going to stay over there. Now, do another ice storm to ensure those guys aren't going anywhere. Whittle down the cultists even more so they're no longer a threat. Perfect. We can almost kill them. You know what? Start whittling down the other cultists. Large amounts of cultists are the biggest threat because they can cast that, a certain spell that does massive damage to everyone around. Alright, start taking out these cultists. Very nice. You're gonna go ahead and do a fire bolt on that one. See, that is the thing that's really, really bad. But we were able to take care of it. You can't do any more, so you're not going to. Okay, firebolt. We can take care of these. I'm starting to think we don't really need clerics and Yama-Azadas, because Yama-Azadas are basically healers, aren't they? Alright, we can take him down. You do nothing. Yeah, you've just got Cure Moderate Wounds and Dispel. Alright, let's finish these guys off and that'll be it. There we go. Army defeated. Nice. Having wiped out the cultists, the Crusaders discover many blood-streaked golden idols. The soldiers fire up the camp forge and toss them into the flames. The heat of the forge melts the blasphemous statues down as the fighters cheer and whistle. Excellent! And we have cleared things out. While I would like to wipe out these forces, they are a bit strong. So I'm going to send you down to here, where you'll be able to take out this army. It'll take time, but it'll help. That said, we'll be dealing with more in the next episode, because this one's gone on long enough. Next episode, more Crusade things. Till then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is me. This has been a Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous, and I shall see you all next time.